Hi guys, welcome to today's video, which is going to be a 3 looks 1 palette using the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. So this palette here, I've already done a first impressions video and done one look using this section here, which is the Winterfell section. So this video is going to be concentrating on looks with the other 3 sections of the palette because it's split into 4 separate sections with its own unique tones to it. So I'm going to be showing you tutorials for all 3 of those. There's no complicated techniques in these, they're just quite simple, but just to show you the shadows and how you can use them to make some colourful looks without doing cut creases or anything like that. So at the end of the 3 looks, I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on the palette as well. But let's jump into the looks now, starting with look number 1. So for this look, I'm starting with the shade Frozen North in my crease. It is a shimmer shade, but I'm working in that into my crease and into my outer corner. I find the shimmer shades from Urban Decay work okay for this, although I did get a lot of fallout doing this. So I'm just packing it into my inner and outer corners because this is going to be almost a halo eye, although I'm not going to cut out the lid too much to make it too much of a halo eye, but it is going to have a spotlight in the centre. Just taking that blue shade again underneath my eye, just using a smudge brush there to get it quite close to the lower lash line and mixing it up with the blue shade in my outer corners. Then I'm packing the colour White Walker over my lid. This shade is so pretty in real life, it's got a real duochrome shift to it, so nice. So I'm just packing that on, and then I'm using the colour Hard Home just to blend out the edges of the Frozen North shade in my crease. Just intensifying the inner and outer corners with the shade Take the Black, just to darken that up a touch. And then patting over that with Frozen North just to blend that in. I've added Chaos Liner in my lower lash line and some mascara, and that's the finished look. For look number 2, I'm starting with the matte shade House Lannister, just to lay down a crease shade to blend into. Just making sure that's nice and diffused and blended, then going in with Lannister Red, packing that into my outer corner and then just taking it through 2/3 of the way into my crease, but not all the way into the corners. Just patting that on, building up the intensity as I go and blending it out. And then taking that on my lower lash line, all the way from inner to outer corner. And then I'm blending that out with the blending brush and House Lannister. And also blending out the top of my crease where I'd laid down the Lannister Red shade. Then I'm taking Red Keep and I'm packing that all over my lid. And then going in with Casterly Rock just on the outer corner and blending that into the Red Keep shade. And just making sure that my crease is blended with the shimmers that I've laid down, and then using King's Landing just in my inner corner and then dragging it slightly down onto my lower lash line, and then a pencil liner on my upper lids completes the look. For the 3rd look, I'm starting off with a Lancome Ombre Hypno Stylo pencil in the shade 03 Taupe Quartz. I'm packing that all over my lids, up into my crease space and making a pointed shape in my outer corner to give me a guideline of where I'm going to lay down the shadows. I wanted this to be quite a graphic shape. Then I'm packing on the shade Stormborn, just using a packing brush into my outer corners and into that V shape that I've created in my outer V, and then just perfecting that with a liner so that I get a nice crisp edge to that, the liner brush should I say. Then I'm packing that shadow again over the top, but just using a different brush and then perfecting it again. Really wanted to make that nice and purple and smoky. And then I'm going into the centre of my lids with the shade Dothraki on another packing brush, packing that all over the centre of my lids, but blending it into the purple shade Stormborn that I'd already laid down. Then going in with Bend the Knee, taking that into the inner part of my lid space where I hadn't laid any shadow down. Then taking Bay of Dragons, I'm just packing that into the middle of my lid, although it didn't make an awful lot of difference actually to how the look turned out. Then I've used Heartless 24/7 pencil by Urban Decay as a base on my lower lash line, used the shade Stormborn in the outer corner and the shade Dothraki in my inner corner. Just packing a bit more of that Bay of Dragons on because I couldn't get it to show up as much as I was hoping. And then I've added mascara, and here's the finished look. Okay, so now you've seen all the looks. Comment down below if you'd like to what your favourite was. I think for me, I was quite surprised. I do like the look that I'm currently wearing, which was out of this section here, which is the Bay of Dragons section, and I didn't expect to enjoy the shadows as much as I did, but they are really pretty. I've packed them over base, which has made them show up a bit differently to the colours in the pan, I think, but it is possible to get a really interesting look out of them, and I don't normally like quite pale shades like that, but I've managed to sort of give them a bit of impact, I think. So I think that one's my favourite, but I'd love to know which is yours. In terms of my thoughts on the palette, now I've used most of the shades. I've not used Take the Black out of the Hard Home section. I've not used Winter Is Here from the Winterfell. I used everything from the King's Landing section, and I've not used House Targaryen from the Bay of Dragons section. So I've used everything else, and my impressions are that all of the shades can be used as crease shades, or in my opinion they can. They do blend out quite well. When I was using the blue, the Frozen North, which is in this one, as a crease shade, I did get quite a bit of fallout, so tapping your brush off will really help if you intend to shear that out as a crease colour. The mattes are typical Urban Decay quality, really good, really blendable mattes. And as I say, the shimmers have got the formula that I'm used to from Urban Decay, that you can blend them in your crease or make them work as shimmers, but they're not like super impactful shimmers. So they're more like a thinner formula, but that does make them versatile in terms of you can use them as if they were a matte in some ways. The shades down the side there in the circular pans, those shades are more of a highlight or topper shade. Particularly liked that one, King's Landing. I thought that came out really nice and blinding in my inner corners when I used that one. I enjoyed the Winterfell one, which I used in my look in my previous video. They're topper shades, I would say, but they're like a transformative shade. But if you pat them over a glitter glue, or if you use them as in an inner corner highlight, they're very interesting shades to use as inner corner highlights. So I think it's a pretty versatile palette, and I'm glad I picked it up. I picked it up as a collector's edition more than anything else, but I can see myself dipping into it quite a lot. And I restricted myself to just using the shadows that are in each of the quadrants there. But I think mixing things up a bit more and using, say, one from each, I could make a multitude of different looks out of this. So it covers a lot of different colours and the type of sort of more grungy kind of colourful shades that I enjoy. So really glad I've got it. So let me know, guys, did you pick up this palette? Are you intending to? I'd love to know. But other than that, that wraps up this 3 looks 1 palette video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!